What is up, everybody? My name is Justin. This is Forever Self-Employed. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to protect yourself from bad customers. I'm joined with a special guest, a couple special guests. I got Mike and I got Cody here. Mike and Cody, how's it going?
Well, it's good. I feel like I should be saying I've got a guest because we're also on my channel. So I have got two guests with me today. I've got Cody Drummond and I've got Justin.
It never gets old when Mike does that, Cody. For anybody who doesn't know, Cody is actually he has a software company, and the software company, a very interesting twist is the premise of it is basically the opposite of what Google does to us, right? What happens? Customers go to Google, they can rate us, they can talk bad about us, but Cody's kind of flipped the script in a way, and now his software allows you to rate customers, right? Cody, can you kind of break it down for us a little bit?
Yeah, that's mostly the gist of it. It's a rating system for clients. So instead of the clients reviewing us, we're now reviewing them. And you can kind of think of it as like a reverse Yelp, but it's got some cool additional features like anonymity, and it has bid shopping detection alerts. So, the main purpose is to help us identify good clients and kind of more importantly, avoid the bad ones.
Absolutely. I actually got a couple comments on a video where I talked about a lady that left me a 1-star review because we refused to service her property. She didn't move everything off the front and back patios. We have an increased price for whenever that happens. So she was able to leave us a 1-star review, but I was not able to return the favor. Luckily, I have a platform on the internet and I could kind of speak to the issue. But this seems like it would kind of be a resolve to that, because I could then, what would happen, Cody? I would, leave this customer a bad review, and then would other people be able to see what that review was?
Yeah, you would leave an anonymous review on the customer. And essentially the way it works is anyone else who interacts with that customer in the future, who's on lead check, will see the review that you left.
Okay, excellent.
And I love reviewing bad, crappy clients that screwed me over. I love it.
Dude, I tell you, that is you're absolutely right. And I love that you've done this, because what this has done is it's given people a voice, which they didn't have before. And it's not only is it a little bit of just making you feel good, right? Venting a little bit, but it's also helping other contractors out in your market that have access to this, right? Because that's the gist of the software is they'll be able to see, and kind of cross-reference and check things out, so they don't get, a 1-star review for something that, what's crazy is I will get, I've got a pressure washing business, and we will, we get a ton of reviews, and every once in a while you will get a 1-star review, whether it's legitimate or not, right? Maybe whatever the case is, but we've got probably 3 or 4 1-star reviews, and they're not even, there's like a Mike's pressure washing, or all, like there's whatever the case is. And there's no way to counteract that. But now there is, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. The way that Google sorry, go ahead, Justin.
You're all good, Cody. Go ahead.
The way that Google and Yelp has it set up is really stacks the deck against contractors. License boards also have a system that I think is stacked against contractors. And someone who's not even your customer can tarnish your reputation like for life. And that's ridiculous.
Right. So this kind of returns a bit of the power back in the contractor's favor. So Cody, will contractors that use this platform have access to the reviews of other, companies?
Yes. So any company who leaves a review on a client, any contractor or service guy that comes along later and gets that client as a lead, the system's going to check them against the background reviews on the system, and it's going to notify you of any type of reviews that are already in the system on this client.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. We're going to be taking a look at the software, but if you guys are curious and you want to check it out, check out the first link in the comment section and the description. Cody's actually got a special deal right now where you guys can try the software out for free for 30 days. Right, Cody? You want to tell them a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's right. You just go to the website. There's a couple different packages. Whatever package you choose, you can try it for free for 30 days. Even when costs do kick in, it's pretty cheap, guys. It's like $1 per lead roughly when you factor everything in. And also we have a 1-year money back guarantee. If you're unhappy for any reason in the first year, you don't think it was worth it, you can let us know at, month 11, and we'll give you all your money back.
Excellent. Love it. Excellent review. And then Washright wants to know what the program is called. It's called Lead Check, leadcheck.net. Right, Cody?
That's right.
Beautiful. So you guys can check it out, leadcheck.net. So Cody, you want to give us any other background with regards to this? Were you experiencing, customers that were leaving you bad reviews?
Yeah. So I've been in the business for over 20 years now. I started very young, and I quickly started to realize there was like a two-tiered system here. And although I do get a lot of good clients even to this day, one thing I've realized, especially over the past 5 years, is most of my stress, anxiety, and profit issues come from dealing with bad clients, people that are abusive, insulting, demanding, change the agreement, or don't want to pay. And so that's kind of where this came out of, is just trying to solve this problem of just getting bad clients and not being able to know up front, this is a bad guy. And I know with a lot of bad clients I get, I'll talk to people later on that said, oh yeah, I worked with that guy, he was a nightmare. And if I would have just known, I would have been able to avoid that problem altogether. Another thing is I've been sued, man. I've been sued several times. And I also see this as a form of insurance, because if you can avoid these clients that just sue contractors just because, for pretty much no reason, it's insurance for you. You're avoiding lawsuits essentially.
I got a comment one time that said that basically this guy's neighbor would run a contractor scam where he'd have the contractor come out to his property, and probably right before the project was over, he'd throw a huge fit, throw the contractor off of his property just to try to get all that work for free or at a much discounted price. So somebody could essentially avoid that by using a software like LeadCheck, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
I got one of those right now.
Excellent. Mike, have you ever had any bad customer experiences, man, like that?
I've had lots of bad customer experiences. In fact, one that was not related to my business that just happened right now, but had this contractor had this in place, he probably would have eliminated the issue. And so I got a call from this guy, and he's like, "Hey, there's a bunch of oil stains on some asphalt in the street outside of this property address, and I want to know if you guys can get him up." Well, asphalt stains, oil stains in asphalt, there's a lot going on. And I was like, well, if you could send me some pictures or send me the address, I'd like to go by and take a look. Well, it was right around the corner from a neighborhood. So I was like, oh, I'll go. I called the guy. It turns out that he was a roofer, and he was doing a big, and this was, probably a $700,000, $800,000 house. Pretty intricate roof, probably a $20,000 roof, right? They had given him a 10% deposit, and I guess he got another check halfway through, and they were holding the remainder, which was I want to say it was like 15 grand or something, holding that until he got all the oil stains off of the street, and there was a couple on the driveway. So I drive over there and I look. I can't even see them, right? I'm looking hard for these things. I go up to the door, and I knock on the door, and the people come out. First sign was, and Cody, you're a West Coast guy, so maybe you're more down with this. They were wearing masks in their own house. Okay. Like a COVID mask.
I'm not down with that.
No, this was, honest to God, this was like 2 weeks ago. So there's whatever. They both come out they're in their own house wearing. So that was a flag number one. So you should actually have that in your program.
Mask wearers.
If they wear a mask. But
yeah.
Long story short, I'm like, hey, can you guys show me the issue? They come out, and they are struggling to find the issue. But at the end of the day, they were doing exactly what the customer that commented, or your neighbor or whatever, about just trying to throw a fit, not to pay, get a discount. Right? This guy needs that money. He is a small contractor. And if you have somebody that is trying to leverage Google reviews, bad PR, word of mouth, and also the remainder of your payment or your payment in full, right? That is somebody that I want to avoid. And I will also say that there is a track record for people like this. Every 1-star review that we've gotten, if you go and look on Google, if you can go and look to see the other reviews that they've left, 9 times out of 10, there are just boom, 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 a bunch of 1-star reviews, because that's who these people are. And if you don't have access to that without having something like this. So I think it's great, right? If you can identify problem children before they become problems for you, that is worth every freaking penny.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add on that, Cody? I'm sorry.
Yeah. One more thing that I'd like to add is one trend I've noticed in our industry is a lot of times we think of it as us versus the other companies. And I'm a big collaborator, man. I'm like, look, all the good companies, we have a certain minimum amount of money we need to make our lives comfortable and make a good living. And we deserve to make a good living too. You know, it's not just our clients who deserve to live well and make a good living. And so I like the idea of contractors coming together and collaborating to kind of put these clients in check, because they do have way too much leverage. And it's like, we built the system where it's like, no, we're not sharing your leads with anyone and we're keeping things anonymous. So it's not too much collaboration, but it's enough to where we can help each other avoid crappy clients. And we can also, we'll talk about the bid shopping activity a little bit, but we can also help each other save a lot of time by avoiding just cheap tire kickers that just waste companies' time.
That's one of my favorite features about the app, Cody, is because like you said, there is like that stigma within the industry is it's like me versus them, when this app kind of brings people together and instead we're working together for a common good of not being, taken advantage of by problem customers, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So let's go ahead, Cody, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and hop into Lead Check. And if you could just walk us through how it works, some of the features in it, so that way anybody who wants to take advantage of it can. And if you, like I said, if you guys are interested, check out the comment section description, leadcheck.com. You guys are going to get 30 days for free whenever you click the link down in the comment section and the description. So we can give the software a try, import some customers, see if there's any, reviews on those customers. And yeah, I think it's going to do a lot of good stuff for your business. I personally had one guy that never paid me, and dude, actually I had two people. There was this guy who called me off of Facebook, and he had 10 Burger Kings, and we ended up doing a couple of the Burger Kings, and then he just vanished like a ghost. Like, I never heard from him again. Tried to follow up to get, payment on those, and it was just a nightmare. So I wouldn't advise anybody working for him, but I had never had anywhere to put that, and now I do,
Yeah, no, it feels good, man. If you get in there, and you'll feel good as you're leaving the review. I guarantee it. Okay.
Can you do the screen share?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All right. How are we looking?
We look good. We can see it.
So this is the main website. You can come here so you guys can watch a demo video. It's a couple minutes of me walking through how the software goes or works. It's super simple. We got some newsletters and frequently asked questions you can check out as well. We're pretty transparent about the pricing. It's roughly $1 per lead. And depending on your company size, you're going to select one of these plans. So here's the deal is if you leave us 2 reviews in the first 3 weeks, it's free for 30 days. And then even after that, man, we got the money back guarantee, the 1-year money back guarantee. But once you do sign up and get everything set up, you're essentially going to get into your back office here. And so here's an example of my back office for my construction company. And you can add jobs in a couple different ways. The best way to get jobs added is just install the script on your website so everything's fully integrated. We have it on our contact form. That's how most companies do it. They put a small line of code on their contact form page on their web page. So anytime a client comes to your web page and fills out your contact form, we will immediately email you and let you know if we have information on that client. And they'll get automatically dropped in your dashboard here. So there's some clients I've added here manually by like phone, if they phone me or they come in by email, but 80% of these just drop in automatically and I don't have to worry about inputting them into the system. And we call that website integration. Now, once you have a client in here, you can just click any client to add a review. So this is one I've reviewed already and I had a pretty bad experience, and it's very simple. You click on the client, you see their star rating, and you see the review that contractors left for them. One thing you will notice is my company name and personal information is not attached to any of these reviews. So you can see the client's address. You can see some attributes that we left for them and the message that was left, but it's fully anonymous when you leave reviews. And the reason we did that is because we didn't want blowback happening where customers get mad and then go and leave you a bad review because you left them a bad review. So the way you leave reviews is up to you. You can leave a minimal amount of information or a lot of information, but as long as you're smart about how you leave reviews, it's fully anonymous. And you also have to be a contractor or service company to be on the lead check platform. And so clients technically cannot just get in here and get on the system. We have processes that keep clients out, and you have a sign-in. You have a sign-in. So it is a closed system. Now, I'm going to give you an example of leaving a review if you guys don't have any questions. It's super simple. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. If you're still running it, you can. I do have a question for you when you're done. Yeah, but explain to us how to leave the review.
Yeah. So this client here, I had a bad experience with, right? 5 Valley Road. So I'm going to go leave a review. I'm going to click the stars I want to give them and give a little information about whether I got hired, dropped out, lost the bid, or other, right? So this one, I'm going to say I got hired. And so we have these list of archetypes. Okay. Tell me if any of these sound familiar to you guys. On the negative archetypes, we've got bad payer. Have you guys ever had that experience?
Absolutely.
Bait and switcher, a chameleon, someone who plays nice up front, but once you're dealing with them, they're a disaster to work with. Have you guys ever dealt with that?
Of course.
Yeah, we got deal changer, distrustful, demanding, impatient, insulter, leverage king. Leverage king. I think we've all dealt with that before. They try and find little things that they can say you did wrong so they can scam you out of money at the end.
Is that another one of those like, hey, can you take care of this while you guys are here? And they don't want it added to the quote.
You know what? I probably got to add something here for that because that's a little different.
I feel like I know all these archetypes. Maybe I could provide a couple, but keep going.
Yeah, send me some. Litigation lookout. These are guys that sue you or have threatened lawsuits. Micromanager, nitpicker, no boundaries. They're calling or texting you after work hours or at 9 p.m. at night over nothing. Penny pincher, the user. In my industry, we get a lot of these up front. People that just use you for consultation and estimates, but have no desire to work with you. They're just getting a bunch of estimates to try and get everyone to bid against each other and race to the bottom. We got time wasters, tire kicker, ultra critical. And then Uncle Tom GC. In construction, we deal with these a lot, where we get general contractors who hire us as subs, and they work as like gatekeeper for the client to screw over the sub. Like that happens all the time. Now we've also got neutral archetypes and then positive archetypes for your good clients, because we want to review those too. Like we get great clients. Actually, most of my clients are great, but the bad ones really, really make business miserable. And so in this situation, we're reviewing a bad client, right? So we're going to put some negative archetypes, the job size. And then we can decide if we want to leave a comment here or not. You could just say, bad to work with, keep it super simple. Or you could write a whole story and tell everyone what your situation was. And you submit that. So what's going to happen once I hit submit here is anyone else who this client has contacted in the past is now going to get an email. And as this client contacts people in the future for services, they will get alerted with an email that says, hey, here's a review that a contractor left. Check it out. So before you decide to work with this guy, that's why it's called lead check, right? The idea is you're really checking the lead before you work with them. You know what you're going to be dealing with.
I love that. No, and I was going to ask you because Fast Eddie left a comment and said, this can also benefit contractors for good customers too. So essentially you can rate good customers as well, right?
Yeah. And that's almost as important because like if you've got 10 leads that come in and a couple have top stellar ratings and you got to figure out how to prioritize your leads and who you're going to go after first, like those guys are going to go to the top of your list.
Right.
And so the amount of time this can save is tremendous because like as contractors, we spend a lot of time, man, in consulting and bids. Like I'll spend 60 hours sometimes on putting a bid together, 60 hours on meetings, design, all this stuff. And so if I know up front, this client's a good client to work with, I'll invest that time for a $250K, $400K project. But, if I get bad signs, I'm going to avoid them.
Absolutely. Okay. Completely agree. This is super cool. So lead check, it's going to tell me if the lead was bad, but if somebody has a good review on that customer, will it also alert me on the good review?
Yeah. In fact, you tell the system when you want to get alerted. So we don't bother you. You'll in your backend setup, you'll say, hey, only alert me for clients that have this many stars. And so you select when you want to get emails from us. And you can also just come in here and check them on your list. Like you come in here, you click that client and you check the review, or you type them in at the top here. You can do a name lookup. Now, when you do a lookup in this search category, you're looking up the leads you've inputted. You're not doing a query on the whole system. And the way we have it set up is you have to add a lead first, and then you can look it up in the system.
Okay. So you can't get any data on anybody else's leads. Oh, unless they've been added in and all the
That's right.
credentials match, right?
Unless you've both been contacted by that client, you cannot do a lookup on them.
Interesting.
So you need to, at a minimum, have the client's name and address.
Okay.
And then we want phone or email too. And so, I did that because I don't want people to kind of use the system to just get data on clients. I want it to be like, okay, a client has legitimately contacted multiple companies. And so that's when the data becomes relevant. And I don't want this to be like a data farming system, if that makes sense.
Right. Absolutely. This is really beautiful. I love the fact the collaborative effort that, everybody can take. So is this for every industry? I know we're probably going to get that question a little bit as well.
Yeah, the main two industries are going to be service and construction, but it also works well for designers and engineers.
Okay, designers and engineers. Okay, so and I could imagine with the higher ticket offerings, definitely you would want to have this as well. Like if you're doing $100,000 project, like we need to check up on that lead and make sure this guy isn't gonna take advantage of us.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you want to talk a little about the bid shopping activity and how that works? Or do you have other questions on this side of it?
No, I think I'm good on this side. It's very, very straightforward. I love it. But yeah, bid shopping, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you first sign up and come in here to set up your company info, we're going to ask you a few questions about your industries and services. And you're going to go in here and check the services that you offer. And if we're missing any services, email us. We'll get them in there right away because we're still we add services on a monthly basis because there's just things that we didn't know existed. Once you add in your services, we know what category you're going to be in. Okay. And we also know what territory you're in, what local territory you're in. And at that point, what we do is if a client contacts you and another company in your area that offers the same service, same area, we alert both of you guys and we start to tell you how much bid shopping the client's doing. So we're not going to send over the company names. We keep that anonymous, but we will say, hey, this client has reached out to this many companies and here's the dates that they reached out to their other companies. And what you start to get is an idea of how much that client values money over quality, right? Because if you're seeing that the client's doing a ton of bid shopping, you know that they're just, it's all about getting the best price. So if you got 30 leads to go after and you know that you got 5 that are just bid shopping the hell out of it, and then you've got several that appear to be doing no bid shopping, that'll help you prioritize your lead list, right? And hopefully save a lot of time.
Okay, beautiful. So that's another criteria within here is the lead shoppers. Now, where would that be displayed at? Is that something that's just displayed whenever you enter a contact that has already been entered? I can get notified.
2 spots is here. You'll see it under the count on bid shopping. And if I go, let me go find one of these bid shoppers. I got so many leads in here. Sometimes they, give me 1 sec. Let me track one down. It's going to be displayed at the bottom here. Sorry, man. Bear with me for one moment. I got to find one of these that's actually bid shopping me. Oh my gosh. I was just looking at one before this call.
So this is a good way, though, to protect yourself against, like you said, devoting a certain amount of time to particular bids based on, because obviously we don't have a direct connection with a lot of our competitors. And this is a way for us to be connected and know if somebody's a price shopper or not.
That's right. Now, I'm being a retard right now, so I can't find it. But under bid shopping activity here, this is where it will pop up. And it'll just show a date and it'll show the time and date where they contacted another company. And we also send an email where we let you know, like, let's say a client reaches out to you on Monday, and then 4 days later, they reach out to another company, same service. We send you an email and we say, hey, Justin, just want to let you know this client just reached out to another company for the same service. And we also send the other company an email and say, hey, just to let you know, this client reached out to someone 4 days ago for the same service.
This is actually something that could be of huge benefit, because unless you have systems in place already, some sort of automated process that's following up with your customers, then a lot of guys will lose jobs because they give the quote, they give the estimate, and then they forget about it. And if there's not some sort of, process in place, and, obviously, with this, if you guys are informing these contractors that somebody else got a bid, it might be like motivate them enough to say, oh shoot, I need to follow up. I need to make a call. I need to drop by, because we all know that the guy that gets the lead to the customer the fastest, the one that follows up, the one that stays in front of them, is most likely to get that job.
Yeah, that is an extra benefit, and that totally makes sense.
Big shout out to our buddy Mike Turman. He said he's going to sign up tonight. He loves it. Mike Turman is a guy that does a lot of business. I think Mike's business does a lot of money. I'm not going to disclose it here on the internet, but he does a lot of pressure washing and route work and things of that nature. And he comes across a lot of customers, and probably a lot of bad ones too. So,
and the interesting thing, Cody, and we talked about this before offline, but and Turman is a great example of this. Turman is he's up in Jersey, right? So dense population, tons of contractors, tons of people. And like somebody like this could really benefit from this type of, the leadcheck.net service. It's phenomenal. I think Mike's smart in doing that for sure.
So, and are these, like, let's say that somebody who was, I think you said that you had done backyards, right? Cody, like remodel backyards.
Yeah, we build luxury backyards and pools.
So if you input a lead into the system, and then somebody from a completely different industry inputs the same lead, they're essentially going to get your data on that customer as well, right?
No. So for the bid shopping activity, if your bid, like I get all kinds of projects where I'm doing the pool, another guy's doing a deck, another guy's doing the house. We don't need to know if they're bidding on the project because it's not relevant to us.
And I'm sorry, I should have prefaced, Cody, not necessarily bid shopping, but more so just the customer review. Can
yes,
some other industries see the customer reviews?
Yes, absolutely.
And so that's the beautiful point is like, let's say that a painter had an experience with a customer. Let's say that a roofer had an experience with a customer. It doesn't matter if you're in pressure washing, you enter the same customer. If they had a bad experience, you're going to be notified about that through the software. I think that's cool.
You're getting a track record on how that client treats industry pros.
Right. I love that. I love that.
And what visibility do you have? So, well, no, I guess never mind. That makes sense. Okay.
If it matches, I guess is what you're saying, Mike. What shows up for that customer?
Well, no, but like if there's a landscape designer in my area, and he leaves either a good or a bad review, but that I will only see that if that customer has contacted us.
That's right.
Okay.
And now, Cody, let's say that I do. You obviously have a mass import of.
Technically, Mike, to correct that, if you put that customer in the system somehow, and usually that happens when a customer contacts you.
Right.
Cody, do you have like there's obviously a large lead import that I could do, right? Like if I have a contact list, I want to import everybody in here just to get the system going.
Yeah. So we got some companies that'll drop in like 1,000 at a time because they have a CRM system. And so there's an import leads option, and you'll just drop in a CVS or Excel, and you'll just tell us in the fields what's name, what's address, right? And you can import thousands at a time. Another thing that we do is we're working with some PM software companies and CRM software companies right now to build custom APIs. Mm-hmm. So when a client adds their lead into their custom API system, it automatically drops into lead check.
I love that.
And so, some software companies are more open to that than others right now. but we are getting small software companies on board who really love the system and want to offer this as an additional value to their customers, so they don't have to double input the information.
Super cool. Yeah, I was just curious if I had a list of customers, I could dump them in, and essentially would I be presented with any other reviews on those customers as well?
Yes.
If there's some in the system?
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful. Well, Cody, this is awesome, man. Just from the perspective of, being able to do the lead check, to do the bidding as well. And the bidding, just to clarify, is not across multiple industries. Whatever, it's the bids only within your industry.
That's right.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Well, perfect. Mike, you have any other questions for Cody with regards to the software?
No, I mean, when we first talked, this was pretty exciting for me. I like this software. I like the idea behind it. I think it definitely will benefit a ton of people out there. And again, right, like it's just like our software, Quote IQ. The cost is so minimal for the value that you get, and we equate it like $1 a lead. Like that's nothing. Like even if your lead, that they paid you $20, like $1, right? You're still, the ROI on that is phenomenal. Plus the deal that you got right now for the 30-day free trial. Why would you not try to take advantage of this? See if it works. Import some leads, give a couple reviews, and check it out. Like it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. Cody, anything else you want to mention with regards to, any other value with regards to lead check?
One thing I will say is, we're very new, we're a startup company, and we're just kind of launching this thing out, and we've got a lot of attention, but we do tell people, give us about 6 weeks to warm up your account when you sign up, because essentially when we get a sign up, we immediately market to other people in your area and in your industry. And a lot of times it takes several weeks, sometimes a few months, for the collaboration to start happening and the dots to get connected. But when that does start happening, it is really awesome to have, and it's very beneficial to the companies.
Well, and that's one of the things that you had mentioned to us yesterday that is really a huge selling point for anybody that's interested, because, I live in Savannah, Georgia. It's not a huge booming metropolis. And so maybe there's not a lot of guys out there that even know about this yet. You are brand, you're a new company. And so it does take a little time to get, people using the software. But what you just said is huge. I sign up in Savannah. You start going after all the pressure washing companies in my area. And that's a benefit to me, right? It's a benefit to them. It's a benefit to lead check. Like that's a huge selling point.
Yeah. My goal is for service companies and contractors in general to be able to raise their prices and charge more money because of this system, because they're getting better clients who are willing to pay for it. And it's a rising tide lifts all boats. And one last thing is, like, we don't want bad contractors on the system, actually. Just like we don't want bad clients, we don't want bad contractors either. So we have systems internally where if a contractor's scammy or just has a really crappy reputation and doesn't do what's right, we boot them out, because we don't want them muddying the water with bad data. And so, we love collaboration, and we want to see contractors and service companies be elevated big time.
I love that. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on, Cody, just because to share that good message, with people of collaboration instead of it's a me versus them situation. Absolutely. Okay. Well, excellent. Cody, anything else that we want to share with regards to the software, the offer? Like we mentioned before, you guys can get your first 30 days for free by clicking the link in the comment section or going to leadcheck.net. But anything else we want to mention, Cody?
No, that's perfect. I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks so much. So if you guys need help keeping track of those bad customers and kind of, it's especially beneficial, I can see, for companies that are doing like monster jobs too. Like if you're going to do a $30,000 apartment complex cleaning, or if you're going to do like a reconstruction on a home for like $100,000, like you really need to know if this customer is going to, be bad for you. So I think it's definitely going to be beneficial for those people. But Cody, thanks so much, man. We appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Justin. Thanks, Mike.
You got it, buddy. Leadcheck.net. Let's go.
Peace.